Welcome to the training site for DERA's environmental farming scheme. This training is part of a series relating to capital items. Please note that capital items may be referred to as non-productive investments or NPIs. This particular training is for the capital item pasture pump and associated pipework. This is an additional capital item, which means it is not available on its own but must be applied for in conjunction with an EFS option. For this training, you will need to watch the video, and this is followed by a number of questions which you must answer. There are further details about the capital items on the environmental farming section of the DERA website. This training module covers a number of aspects, including explaining what the investment is and the aims you have in installing it. It outlines certain things you must do as part of the scheme and gives some detail of the scheme specification. It discusses record keeping and gives some information about the type of checks that DERA will carry out as their responsibility for the scheme, and finishes with the payment rate. Basically, this is a diaphragm pump which, whenever it is connected to a local watercourse, it can be operated by livestock with their nose to dispense water into the bowl. The pump will satisfy around 15 animals, and pumps can be sited individually or as a cluster. However, it should be noted that it is not suitable for use with sheep. The aim of this is to provide alternative drinking for livestock where certain EFS wider level options have been established. And this is to reduce the potential for direct nutrient enrichment of a watercourse. And where the higher level agreement is involved, it is included as part of the site-specific remedial management plan to help maintain and enhance the biodiversity value of that particular site. In terms of the amount to be completed, the amount as detailed in the agreement is the amount that must be done. There's a minimum of 1 unit to be installed, and the maximum will be as per the maximum agreement value. This capital item is installed in year 1 and must be retained and maintained in the same location for the duration of the EFS agreement. You must adhere to the scheme requirements and controls and to the specification as detailed in the capital item sheet. These are summarised here. For example, you must have the work completed by the end of year 1 of the agreement. You also must install the claimed number in the correct location in the field or fields where they have been approved. All the items must be new, be of suitable height for livestock, and installed to the required specifications. And also field records must be kept detailing the location, the number of units and date of installation. Regarding specification according to the scheme, for pipework, it must be compatible with the pump. The pipework joints must be plastic or brass. The pipework must be protected with a tubular steel guard if it is crossing an open drain. And for the higher level agreement, it must be installed as detailed in the site-specific remedial management plan. Field records need to be kept as indicated, and these must be kept field by field, and they also need to be kept each year of any works undertaken. You may wish to use the format shown here, which is available on the DERA website, or else you may prefer to use your own format to keep the necessary records. Please note that there is a separate training module on record keeping, which will help you with this aspect of the scheme. DERA will undertake certain checks to verify that the works proposed and paid for have been completed and are to the required standard. The range of checks for this item will be based on the requirements and controls detailed in the information sheet. Checks will be of a number of types, but will include firstly office-based administrative checks. Secondly, they can include technologically based checks, such as control with remote sensing. Or thirdly, they can be on-site checks, such as rapid field visits or on-the-spot checks. Some of the checks that may be carried out are summarised in the next slide. DERA will check that everything is installed by the end of year 1 of the agreement. They will check that the claim number are installed in the approved location or locations. They'll check that the height is suitable for livestock. They will check that all items are new and installed to the scheme specifications. And they'll check that field records are maintained as required. Regarding the payment for this investment, the option has a payment of in year 1 only, and this is at £285 per pump and associated pipework. This is now the last slide of this training video, and there are certain things that you need to do next. You must complete the questions for this capital item, and these are found on the site below the video. It is essential that you complete these questions so as to register that your training on this capital item is complete. Secondly, you should also read the information sheet that relates to this capital item. This is available on the lesson site and also on the EFS section of the DERA website. And finally, if you have further options or capital items in your agreement, you can take the training for them after you have completed the questions.